IVM.
Hello and welcome to Smile India with me, Shifa Maitra. Hope you're doing well, and with this new week come more opportunities as the lockdown is easing out. I, for one, am amazed at how clear the air is. Now, onto some happy stories. From Lucknow comes a delightful tale of 80-year-old Mujibullah. He used to be a coolie at the Chabagh railway station and has now retired. When he heard about the migrants coming in hordes by train, he went back to work. Due to the lockdown, he walks 3 kilometers every morning to the station and then gets to work. He lifts luggage for free and helps people coming with travel arrangements for their journey ahead and makes sure everyone gets free food via the NGOs. He does this with a smile and says it's the least he can do. It's really about thought. Even if you don't have money to spare, you can still help. Another person who did something very interesting to help is IAS officer Shashanka Ala, who's posted in Longtai, Mizoram. When she moved there, she noticed that most of the children were underweight and stunted. She soon realized that they did not eat vegetables and fruits because they were unavailable in the area. So she had an idea and started growing some in her own garden. A lot of the vegetables did well, so she started helping authorities grow them in local schools. Now the children were also involved in organic farming and were soon eating what they had helped grow. The results have been amazing, as children eat things they'd never tasted in their life. What an amazing idea. Eat what you grow. Food is, of course, a major topic of discussion for both hosts and guests at Indian weddings. What I find amazing these days is that with about 10 people from both sides present at the wedding, most feasts are cooked at home. Masks and sanitization get priority, not clothes and food. Family and friends watching the wedding on video conferencing are genuine well-wishers. Maybe these close, intimate do's could be a great thing in the new normal. Now here's something that's truly Indian innovation at work. Ningo Prem is a young man living in a village in Manipur who's crazy about all the Marvel superheroes. He has no means of buying their merchandise, so he decided to create an Iron Man replica himself. He has no formal education in it, but loves tinkering around and repairs the TV and emergency light at home. So he decided to build his robot with e-waste. He asked friends to give him old radio sets and emergency lights they were planning to throw. A local TV shop gave him scrap, and he has a brilliant Iron Man replica ready. In fact, his pictures are creating quite a sensation online. More power to Prem and creators like him. Well, it's time for me to sign off, but before I do, I have a request to make. Now, with our nation trying to revive the economy, please try and be a little conscious on where you spend. Make the effort of finding out and support local brands. I know we've never done it before, but now is the time to support our own creators. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on IVM Network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, it's at Shifa Maitra on Instagram and Twitter. Till next time, keep smiling.
I hope you enjoyed that show. We'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money. It really has been a great week this week. We've had two of our first international cricketers show up, people who have played for their respective sides. We had W.V. Raman come on Edges and Sledges, the cricket podcast. If you haven't heard that, you should be listening to that if you enjoy cricket. It's really one of the best out there. And you should also definitely check out Monty Pandithar, who showed up on Cyrus Says. That was another really interesting conversation that occurred. If you haven't been listening to a few of our shorter shows, please do that as well. Ashish Vidyarthi has been doing a great job for us. We got 30 episodes now on Begin the Journey. I think you really enjoyed that show. If you haven't listened to it, it helps you with understanding what's going on in this tough time and how do you deal with it from a mental health perspective. We've also had some really fun stuff come up on the Smile India show. Shifa's been doing a lot of really good stories over there, things that just make you happy, so definitely do check that out. And on the more serious side, make sure that you're checking out our regular shows like the Pragati podcast, All Things Policy. They're definitely going to keep you up to date on what's going on in this COVID world. And thanks for listening, and we hope to catch you again next week.
Entertainment is like food for the brain. It's a window to culture and a great way to understand the world around us. The internet has changed what it means to be an entertainer, creating new storytellers with millions of fans. It has spawned a new breed, the story sellers, those behind the scenes creating the business for this ecosystem. They work with brands, platforms and channels who are keen to capitalize on an audience hungrier than ever for more stories. I'm Vineet Kanabar, and I have a ringside view to how stories are told and sold. On my show, I bring you creators, artists, executives and marketers for a freewheeling conversation around the business of entertainment. Tune in to Storytellers and Story Sellers for personal stories, analysis and criticism every Thursdays as I talk to the brightest minds telling or selling great stories today.